What's up guys, I am here doing a requested video on how to dual boot and Windows 2000 with Windows XP. So right here, as you see, I've inserted my copy of Windows 2000. And okay, what we're going to do is make a partition for Windows 2000. So we're going to go ahead and hit C to create a partition. And let's give it about 10,000, which is 10 gigabytes, close to 10 gigs. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter, and we're going to format with the NTFS file system. The main reason I'm going to install Windows 2000 first, because if you install the older version of Windows first, it won't overwrite the boot sector. Because if you install an older version over the newer version, you can overwrite the boot sector easily. So the best thing to do is, I'm going to install an older version, since I'm going to do Windows 2000 first, which I was meaning to say. Show you how it's easy to dual boot. You just go through the same installation prompts, and I'm going to even guide you through the Windows 2000 installation as well. Because it's real simple anyways, even though most of you don't already know how to install it. This is for the beginners, because I got in the inbox, somebody had inboxed me how to do a video showing how to dual boot Windows 2000 and Windows XP, and the frequently asked question is, will it affect the speed of the computer? Will it slow it down, or will it make it go fast? It won't have no effect to the computer speed. The only way it can keep your computer, if you want your computer to go fast, make sure you have the right amount of good hardware. Like, make sure you have like if you're doing 2000 in Windows XP, I'd recommend doing it with like a Pentium 4 or a Pentium 3. But it'd be better off doing it with like a Pentium 4. And if you want for memory, I'd say give it at least 512 megabytes would be good enough, depending on what you're using it for. You can even use 1 gig of RAM on Windows 2000, because I've done that before on when I tested it out on a different computer. It was able to install with no problems. So I'm just using whatever I could for demonstrations, and that's why I'm using a VM, so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and pause. Now we're back at the Windows 2000 installation. Then after it gets done copying files and all that other good stuff, then you should get to this screen. And I'm going to show you the prompts, what I'm talking about. And here's another tip: if you want to dual boot Windows 98 or Windows ME, which no one probably wouldn't dual boot ME, any Windows 9X based operating systems, like I should say it, you always want to install them first before you install Windows 2000, Windows NT 4.0, or Windows XP, because if you install like Windows 98 over Windows 2000, you can easily overwrite the boot sector quick. It's that easy, because it happened to me before. So that's why it's best, you should install the older operating system first, and then put the newer one next, which this is why I'm making this video on how to dual boot Windows 2000 with Windows XP. You can do this with any computer, trust me. Many people like to dual boot because of the fact, the reason is for certain software compatibility reasons. and nostalgic purposes. And here's another tip. You know how people dual boot Windows XP and Windows 7? They would install XP first, then install Windows 7. It's that simple. If you're dual booting Windows 8 or Windows 7, then it'd be Windows 7 first, then Windows 8. You'll get used to it whenever you start learning. Cause when you start getting more into and learning more into about dual booting, it's kind of common though, but I don't see many people doing it. So while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. Now we're back from it detecting all the hardware or whatever it was doing. But now we're gonna go and choose our language and keyboard layout. If you're in the US, I would leave it as it is. So we can go ahead, click next, enter your name. I'm gonna just put on the video test VM. And put Win2K /XP dual boot. I'm gonna just put test VM. You can put an administrator password if you want, but I'm gonna leave that as it is. And click next. Then adjust your time zone. And click next. And also adjust the date and time while you're at it. If you have to put in a new clock battery in your computer, because sometimes many people have to change it when their computers get so old. If you're planning to reuse your old computer, and that's kind of common. So yeah. I'm gonna just go ahead and put for the work group SVM or whatever you want your work group's name to be. So you can try and hit yes on that. So while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next. Well, which I mean to say, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. Sorry for my stuttering. Now I'm back. Since we got through the installation, now we're at the Windows 2000 desktop. This is what Windows 2000 should look like if you have drivers installed. So one thing, make sure you install the drivers that are compatible for Windows 2000 on that computer that you're using Windows 2000 on. So yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and reboot and put in my copy of Windows XP, so I can show you around the Windows XP installation prompt. Okay, now we're at the XP installation, so I've inserted my copy of Windows XP. Now this is the Windows XP process. This is the Windows 2000 partition that Windows 2000 is installed, right? So we're going to go ahead and use this unused partition for Windows XP. And we're going to hit enter. And I'm going to use the NTFS file system quick. This is going to be basically the same thing as the Windows 2000 process. And like how it, basically it's going to be like how it does like file copy and formatting with Windows 2000 on the earlier part. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause. So now we're back at the Windows XP installation prompt. So you should get a Windows XP boot screen. So now, it looks like we see an hourglass, so that's a good sign. Sorry, I had to pause at that part because I don't want to waste some of you guys' time. So right now it should be installing devices. Just to let you, and I'm gonna go ahead and pause again, just to let you know that what it's currently doing at the moment. So yeah, so you want to go ahead and enter in your name and organization, which I'm gonna just put this for demonstrations. And I'm gonna just put SVM, like always. Same what you did, like what I did in the Windows 2000 installation, because actually Windows XP is based off Windows 2000, because Windows XP is Windows 2000 with a different coding, just to let some of you guys know, which we already know about that, but who cares anyway. Let's move on to the video, because this is about showing you how to dual boot between Windows XP and Windows 2000. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause while I'm at it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Now I want to show you the screen since after the Windows XP installation is done. Even though when I was doing a clean install of XP before like I was saying, you'll come to the screen, you can choose what OS you want to boot. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Windows XP Professional to finish off the installation, because I forgot to show you the screen earlier whenever it was copying, when it was going, before I got to the installation prompts on the other part of the installation. So yeah, now I'm going to show you the next part of the Windows XP installation, which is the out-of-box experience. If it's able to load on here, because sometimes on some computers it usually won't show the out-of-box experience sometimes, but who cares anyway for the out-of-box experience crap. And we gotta please wait. And I'm going to click OK so Windows can automatically adjust our elements and stuff. So I'm going to click OK on that. Now you should see this come up. And if you hear that music, that recognizes the sound drivers installed, so yeah. So we're going to hit click next. And I'm going to choose this option. I'll protect my PC by turning on automatic updates now, because I usually recommend that option. I'm going to skip that because nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I'm going to just put SVM because this is a video only. But why does the name matter? So yeah. And make sure your Windows XP partition, or if you're using your Windows XP partition, make sure you have enough space for updates, depending on how big your partition is. So this is the first boot of XP with its unique startup sound. Yeah, XP is still very useful as of today, but around next year, I believe, around April 2014, that's when they're going to end the support for this, even though this is a good operating system. It's still usable right now in the business. Yeah, I even enabled ClearType through a registry by modifying one of the keys in the registry, as you may notice, instead of doing it after installing XP. I'm going to show y'all some new tips and tricks on what you can do with the command prompt and the task manager on Windows XP on the installation. You can even do it with Windows 2000. All you just got to do is press Shift F10 to get the command prompt. So this is what the Windows XP installation should look like. You want to go ahead and install your drivers for both Windows XP and Windows 2000. If you're using like a computer made from a manufacturer, or if you're using like a custom built machine, I would say make sure to have the right drivers. I ain't gonna fool with that right now. But if you're using a licensed copy of Windows XP, go ahead and activate it while you're at it. And if you want to switch back to Windows 2000, it's that simple. All you just do is go to, on XP, just go to turn off computer, restart. Before that, let me go ahead and take my copy of Windows XP out. And eject my external hard drive. Just hold on 1 minute before while we're still recording, just making sure. But I'm gonna do that after the video, who cares? So we're gonna go ahead, like I was saying, we're gonna go ahead and restart. Okay, now since we're back, it'll bring you to the boot screen. So if you want to go back to Windows 2000, all you just do is hit Windows 2000. It's going to bring you back to the Windows 2000. And I'm also using Windows Virtual PC to do this video for demonstrations, just because the fact is VMware gets so picky when I was trying to do a dual boot with Windows 2000 and Windows XP. So this is so far my second attempt at trying it using a different virtualization software. And you can still access both files from Windows XP and Windows 2000. That simple. Watch, I'm going to go show you the drive that Windows XP is installed. When this finishes booting up, let me go ahead and pause. Sorry for that. Okay, now since I'm fully logged on to Windows 2000, so I'm going to go show you, you can still access all your files from Windows XP by because as you see, I got all my drives labeled. This is the Windows 2000 drive which I'm using, and this is the Windows XP drive. I'm going to show you that you can even pull up some Windows XP stuff, like the Windows XP background. So yeah, that was my video on showing you how to dual boot between Windows 2000 and Windows XP. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Bye.